Hi everyone, welcome back to Scrapbooks Made Easy with Beth. Tonight I wanted to show you all of the features of our amazing 12-inch trimmer. So I'm not sure if you have it or not, but I just wanted to share some of the things that make it amazing. So the first one, I'm going to flip it over here and you can see all of the different blades that we have. You can put it in that way, or you can put them in this way, depending on which one is easier for you to pull out. So we have a scallop, a Victorian, a wave, scoring, decal, perforating, stamping, and then of course the straight blade. One of the things that always amazes people, I'm gonna pull out the arm so you can have a nice straight cut. So the thing that I wanted to share with you is our foot. You have to still pull that out, even though it looks like you have the foot there. That piece still comes out to give you a nice steady straight cut on your arm there. So when you're cutting, this isn't going to bend down and give you a crooked cut. So make sure you pull that extra little foot out, and then when you're done, you just push it back down and it snaps into place. Our blade, I have 4 grandsons, so I love the fact that they can't cut themselves if they pick up any of our blades. There is a notch in our housing that has to push down on this white, and that makes the blade come out for a nice cut. Just put it in, close this, and you're good. Our mat strip, you can see I've used mine a lot. So pretty soon it was on 1, then 2. Pretty soon I'm gonna have to turn it over for 3 and 4 in order to get a nice cut. So you get about 2,000 cuts off of our strip. Number 2 is still working, so I'm gonna leave it there. It's about time to change it though. And that just fits nicely in there. And it has a nice place right here for you to tuck an extra mat. So if you pick up an extra one before you're finished with number 4, you have a nice place to put it so you don't lose it. One of the other features is this little white line, and it is on both sides of the casing there. If you wanted to cut something at 4 inches, you can see where the 4-inch line is on the ruler, and this is your 4-inch line. You're gonna line up that white line with your 4-inch mark and push down and go up, and you're gonna have a 4-inch cut, so you don't have to cut the whole piece of paper like a lot of us used to do, and it would waste paper. Another fun little cut that I wanted to show you you can do with this is if you cut it at 1 inch and now use the 45-degree angle, you're gonna line up your paper with the 45, and then the top of that goes right where it's gonna cut so you can see where your line is. And that's an extra piece. And now you're gonna push this up to where it lines up with our 1 and keep it on the 45-degree angle. You're actually making little rhombuses. So again, you're gonna push it up to the 1, cut, push it up to the 1, keeping it lined up there along the 45, cut, and you can keep going. You can do a 1-inch piece of paper like that, and you can do a 2 inches. So instead of cutting a 1-inch strip, you're gonna cut a 2-inch strip. And then, this doesn't match, but you can see how you could have a really pretty decorative angle there for a super easy border. Use different colors there and you could line it up and have a really fun border. So just a fun little thing to do with the 12-inch trimmer. The other nice thing is if you want to cut 4 by 6, you can just stick your paper right there, cut, and you know you're going to have a 4 by 6. You don't have to measure it every time. Same thing with a 4.5 by 6.5 and a 5 by 7. So those are some really nice lines there for you so you don't have to continue to measure. You can see that there's an arrow there and an arrow here that follows right along that cut line. So if you need to be very, very, very precise, you can watch as it cuts and you know it's gonna cut the size that you want and where you want it. That's a big plus. And then these guides, lots of people don't even know the guides exist in there. So if you were cutting something over and over and you needed to have maybe 6 by 8 or something that's funny like that, you could put this where you need it to go. Remember though that this is the casing, so where you have this lined up with your 8, it's actually gonna cut on the 7. You have to give that inch room for the casing there. And then you would just use a binder clip to put on your ruler right there, so you don't have to continuously measure. You just know that's where your housing's gonna stop and cut your paper. So that's a really unique feature as well. And then another thing that I love is if I was to have a circle and I let it fall right in here. Should have made just a little circle. Let me cut out a circle. It's not going to be perfect, but it'll give you the idea. So let's say I had a circle. You would never know I used to be a kindergarten teacher. If you had any size circle and you let it just fall right in between those 2 guides right there, it will cut your circle perfectly in half. Of course, you know it wasn't a perfect circle, but if it was, it would cut that circle perfectly in half for you. So that's a really cool little feature too. So there's a lot of really nice things that you can do with this 12-inch trimmer, and I hope you have learned something new tonight. And if you have one, try some fun things out. Bye everyone.